Welcome back to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast. My name is John.
My name is Dante.
Coming off a hot night last night. We're a couple sleepy boys, but we're here. Couple of things. I've kind of stopped saying the episode names. The episode numbers.
Yeah, because
we've just gotten up there.
It's just a number at this point.
The numbers, especially because all our stuff is so time sensitive, the numbers don't even really matter. Just kind of put it.
We'll have the milestone ones, like we get to 100 or something like that, of course.
Well, speaking of a milestone one, do you know what number today is?
I have a funny feeling I know what it is.
It is episode number 69, baby.
Very nice.
Woo!
I like. Very
Clap it
nice.
up.
This is the biggest. I mean, this is perfect. Huge episode, milestone, and the day that our brand new merch drops.
That is very
you
true.
Kidding me?
That is very true.
The stars are aligning
on
right
Pi
now.
Day.
On Happy Pi Day.
Happy Pi Day. How far can you go? 3.1415962 is as far as I got.
You got me after 4.
Woo!
You got me after 4.
Yes. So good start out. Merch. This hoodie. That beanie Dante's wearing, and also I'll put a picture up of the back. You've seen it. You see it right now. It should be up on the screen. It's the our little hand gesture thing, mustache thing, whatever you want to call it. Those are available today. By the time this is up, at least video version. By the time this is up, they should be available.
Okay.
But just in case, they go live at shop.clutchpoints.com at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Yep. So if that time has passed and they're live and they're available,
go check it out.
Yeah, very excited.
At this point, they're out. So get the merch. Get the merch.
Yeah,
get the merch.
The beanie's really comfy. We worked hard on the design to get the stitching right. Hoodie is really nice. For reference, Dante last week's was wearing a large, not washed and dried. I'm wearing XL washed and dried. Little shrink, but they're 80% cotton, I believe.
Love
it is. 20% poly.
Great quality.
Yeah, very, 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 very cozy. So, if you want the oversized look or whatever, but I'll try to make sure we have measurements and stuff on the site. I didn't even think of that. I'll try to put that up or have Will put it up. Hey, Will.
Hi, Will. Shout out, Will. But yeah, merch. Get it. Get your hands on it. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for all your support. And
second order of business. Where am I? Where's my stuff? Oh, I'll warn everyone now. Chill episode today.
Very chill
Not
episode.
even because it's episode 69. It just kind of worked out that way.
Stars aligning, like we said.
Chill episode. We got bullet points. We're going over the big stuff, but a lot has happened over the past week. We went to a lot of things.
Yes.
We're obviously talking about the obvious stuff. I figure though, before we get too deep into it, because we want to talk about our night last night and things like that. However, we gotta respond to someone.
We have some business to take care of.
We got some big business of our own to take care of. Stan Stylez. We saw your video. We saw your response a week or two ago, whatever it was. Cute black and white effect. I remember the first time I got Adobe Premiere. You said a lot of things out of pocket, but you said one thing right. We do have a little bit of extra help coming with us on March 30th to the Widowmaker Brewery. I'm just saying.
Hey, who is it? I don't know.
4-hour tag team match. Call it a little bit of insurance policy we've acquired.
Whatever you want to call it.
The reason we acquired it, so we want to put an end to the CWO for good. Stache Club. SCW versus CWO. The acronyms match. Coming to you. Braintree. Widowmaker Brewery. March 30th. We'll see you in the ring. 3v2. Let us know if you can handle it, Stan. Okay, we're back.
All right,
I'm calmed down. It's
a chill episode, John.
We just need a chill episode.
Chill episode. Episode 69. Very nice. Chill out.
We need to get that out of the way. Maybe the title of this will just be very nice. Episode 69.
Thumbs up emoji.
But yeah, so speaking of that, though, just a reminder, Braintree, Massachusetts, Widowmaker Brewery. We have a tag team match against Stan Stylez.
Yes, we do.
And like I said, like I alluded to, might be bringing a third teammate. It's not Sophie. I'm going to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Not Sophie. I'm going to get
that out. Everyone's dirty heads.
Sophie.
Everyone's fantasy. Take off the fantasy hats. No Sophie.
So, but We got a 13 minutes. That's fun.
Yeah,
but yeah,
we got our big debut in a few weeks.
If you're around, let us know. Hopefully, we're working on. We got some big training days coming up. We're training this Saturday.
Yes, we are.
Which I'm excited for.
Can't wait to not be able to walk again for a week after that.
So hopefully, if things work out, because obviously we got the whole production side of it and everything. But I'm hoping we get vlogs and videos out.
Yeah, of course.
Trying to lock down a video guy, but that's all. It's all kind of behind the scenes stuff. But that's exciting stuff.
Yep, big debut in a few weeks.
You know what else was exciting is the Stache Club boys were in attendance, courtesy of AEW for AEW Big Business last night.
Shout out to AEW.
Woo! Yeah.
Thank you guys.
First of all, thank you so much for AEW. AEW.
Second time they've gotten us some media tickets.
Yeah. Blood and Guts last year was the first one. Yep. Little press situation, which was cool. There's like a little sectioned off spot where all the press sit.
Oh yeah.
I will say, and this is nothing on AEW. This is more a TD Garden thing. I tweeted this, but I think we got asked or questioned maybe like multiple times.
Yeah, multiple times.
No one believed us that we were there.
Because we didn't have credentials. Well, we didn't have the lanyard and stuff. Some people
we had the right ticket.
Some people didn't. But yeah, they were like, are you supposed to be sitting here? We're like, yeah.
What do you want to look at my
ticket? Like, I promise you, we got the tickets.
Which, call. I understand.
I get it. You look at us.
We're young
professional journalists.
We're two young dudes. We were dressed just like regular.
We make YouTube videos, you know, and I'm dressed up in sweatpants and in a Detroit Red Wings sweatshirt. Like I definitely look like I snuck into the section. For sure.
Yeah. Everyone there was very like journalist looking.
Yeah,
and then
the guy right next to us was wearing a lanyard, and I'm like, well, I don't think anyone here has one. I looked to the end of the ray. I'm like, well, actually, he does.
There's like everyone taking notes, and there's us in the back going, woo!
Professional cameras, CEO, it was very funny. Maybe next time.
I will say, hey, in our defense, if you're in the press section, step your cheering game. Have some fun in the press section.
We were definitely leading the charge over there.
You're allowed to have fun, except for Liam. Shout out my guy Liam. They were going crazy. His crew was going crazy. Everyone else, though, come on. You're allowed to have fun. Don't take us so seriously.
Serious. Come on, have some fun.
We were jumping up and down. We were going crazy.
I had my chicken tenders. I had my Bud Light in my hand, my $55 Bud Light. It was a great time.
Yeah, it was very fun. Again, it's like we were talking about this a little bit last night, but it is like just otherworldly thinking that like, you know, AEW, and we've gotten tickets from WWE too, but specifically because of last night, AEW is giving us press tickets, and we're sitting in like this roped off place, which they did have caution tape around.
That was a whole nother thing, but where we could walk and where we couldn't, there was caution tape everywhere. It definitely is like just a very cool thing, kind of like, you know, being a fan of wrestling your whole life, like especially like, you know, AEW's been around a few years, WWE, like, you know, growing up watching it, being able to get free tickets from these places, like it's so cool.
Unreal.
And then we were talking to like, in general, just like when we go to these things and people come up to us, approach us and say like, you know, we love your channel, want to take pictures with us. Shout out to all you guys that did come up to us last night, took pictures. I know if some of you tweeted at us, post on Instagram and all that.
Hey, if you took a picture with us,
post it, send it to us, whatever you want to do.
But do me specifically a favor. Dante's got a girlfriend. He doesn't need to impress her anymore. Me, however, if you could throw that puppy on Instagram, tag Raspy, a couple people tagged the Stache Club account,
John,
which I appreciate.
Thanks for saving my family from a fire.
Exactly.
Yeah, thanks for saving my dog.
Thank you for just saving my family.
Thank you for giving me
and then we took this picture.
Yeah, thanks for paying off my college loans.
So if you could do me a favor and just throw that up on the Instagram so I can repost it.
I can gaslight.
And then people can see my story of like, oh wow, ooh, he's taking pictures of people. Ooh, it's a cool look. So if we could all do me a favor and just do that.
Just crop me out and just do a John and you guys.
it's like an obvious.
If I'm like
crop.
in the middle, just do like a black like block right through me.
Put like a question mark over his face.
Who's this guy?
But yeah, joking aside, one, that is very surreal that people want pictures. Two, we appreciate a lot of people coming up, even just to say hi. A lot of people came and said hi.
It's very cool.
What the realization is always funny when they see like one of us or like whatever, and then like the other one will turn around and be like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, or like someone just says like when we were going in, like there was guys like, the ticket guy. I forget what his name was. Richard, I think his name was. Maybe if I got that wrong, I'm
also
sorry.
bad with names.
I'm awful with names. At that point,
that guy's sick though.
He was. Yeah, we saw him at the tunnel again. I think I saw him when I was leaving the bathroom.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure we met him at Blood and Guts too. So I remember there was a ticket guy that knew us last year. I don't know if it was the same person.
At this point, I had a few beer. I was next door at Banners waiting for John. I had a few drinks beforehand, so I apologize if I get the name wrong. But as soon as he said Stache Club, the guy right next to him was like, "Yo!" Like knew it immediately. Yeah, super cool. Thank you guys again for the support. Going up to us, taking pictures. It's so cool. So cool.
Shout out the ticket guy. Not shout out the other guy though. Fucking sick move, guy. Yeah. Fucking what? All
right.
But anyway, so we got to see the Mercedes Mone debut.
Walked in just in time.
I know. We apparently, which is what I heard too, is like the taping. We missed the taping, but there was an ROH taping before, and they used a lot of like local talent. Yes. I don't know if they had like a battle royal or whatever, but a lot of local talent from what we're going to talk about later in the show, the Beyond Wrestling Indie show that was this past Friday, definitely Friday.
I wasn't even there.
And then later on in a different taping, we saw some more local talent, so that's really cool to see. But yeah, so we walked in. Just as we're walking in, I'd say maybe the second we like entered through the curtain, wherever,
honestly.
Mercedes Mone music hit, and I don't know her new music.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like, oh, it's.
I thought it was like maybe like an intro, like the show is just starting. Maybe that's AEW's theme song,
a new
theme song. They have a new logo, they have new everything, new song. I don't know.
And then as we're like walking in, finding our seats, whatever, and I look over at the Titantron, whatever, and it says Mercedes Mone, and I'm like.
Oh, it's happening right now.
Oh, shit, it's happening right now.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't believe that they just, not that I can't believe, but like it was surprising that they like start of the show, top of it, boom.
Yeah.
Entrance.
They weren't
big reveal.
They weren't wasting time. AEW is great. Maybe, I don't know, maybe great's not the word, but like they're very good at these whole like worst kept secret things. Like these big names are debuting. Like they hint at it for forever. I mean, especially, but you know it's gonna happen, but they're not gonna outright say what it is.
Especially this one, I wouldn't even call it a secret. I don't even think they were trying to do a worst kept secret.
She was posting like she was in Boston and stuff like that the day before.
I think it was just like we're announcing it as much as we can announce it because we can't announce it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
and I think too, like when it's like that, when people are expecting it, it's like, let's not waste any time. Like when CM Punk debuted like years ago. It's like they know he's going to be there. Let's start off with a bang. Boom.
Plus they did like the angle at the end with her like coming
Started to close the show. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was sick. Huge reaction from the crowd.
People on
CEO chants.
People on Twitter were being a little bit
people on Twitter didn't watch the show.
I don't know if people had their TVs on low volume or just really weren't telling the truth, but the reaction was amazing for her. I mean, people were chanting CEO like crazy nonstop. People were chanting her name. People were going absolutely nuts when her music hit, or when they started showing Mercedes Mone CEO and stuff. When people got that it was her, and even at the end of the show, people were going crazy for her. Didn't really understand why people were saying didn't watch it. Reaction. That's got to be what it was.
Whoever's saying that,
it was amazing. She had a great reaction.
Feels huge. Feels like a star.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot of positive reception from it, for like making a big deal of like the women and like, the women are also as big of a deal as an Okada or Will Ospreay. I would argue that Mercedes Mone's name is bigger than both of their names.
United
States.
I mean, it depends like the audience you're talking about for sure. And
United States.
I think, and like Mercedes Mone, I think because people talk about the AEW women's division, how it's not necessarily the strongest division in wrestling and stuff. And it's like you drop in Mercedes Mone and she's immediately like the leader or like the face of that division. Like that's something she was talking about, starting a revolution, starting pushing the women's division. Like if someone's going to do it, like, it's her. Like, throughout her career, she's pushed boundaries. She's main evented WrestleManias. She mentioned first ever women's main event in that building at TD Garden years ago.
I was there. I saw it. I was at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, that's right. I remember you mentioning that. So it's like, you know, she's done so much, and she still has so much to accomplish, and I think she's exactly what AEW needs, especially for the women's division. I mean, they're on a roll, like, with all their signings recently, but this might be the biggest one.
Yeah,
because I think this is like going to be a real game changer for the women's division, just a real breath of fresh air.
And I like that she's going after the TBS title too. So it's like, you know, she's not jumping immediately to the AEW women's, get the TBS, elevate that, you know, back up to where Jade had it and or higher. And then you
there's
know,
a lot she can do.
I mean, I'm sure
there's a lot.
within this year she's going after the world title.
100%. I mean, she'll get to that point, but I think, you know, you start her off, you want to use her in every possible way, elevating other titles, elevating other talent, and just like having dream matches, you can say, with all the women in the back. Yeah, I mean, you want to take advantage of her having there. You don't want to just throw her into the main picture and just keep her stuck there. Like, wins the belt, whatever. I'm
looking at Britt Baker when Britt Baker comes back, because she's like, I would argue she is like the face and the headline of the women's division.
I mean, I honestly, that's a match I think would be big enough if they for Wemby in August. Like, if she's back by then.
Yeah, they should for sure do it in Wembley.
I've been too much Victor Wembanyama I see on my timeline. Wembley is what I meant to say. But that's the type of match I can see happening there. Like, that's a big enough match. And we said last night, like, the way she gestured the CEO thing, like,
it is like
the way she starts it is very similar to the DMD. It's not exact, but it's similar.
I think DMD versus CEO writes itself.
Yeah, I mean, that's money right there. Yeah, very excited for Mercedes Moné. She's gonna be massive for AEW.
I like I don't know if it's a plant or just a really, really coincidental, happy coincidence sign with the Monet letters behind her. Did you see, like, the people holding up the signs? Mm-hmm. I don't know if that was like a plant or if they just like they knew, like, we're gonna be on camera, we're gonna make this look sick. So shout out whoever brought those. Yeah, those letters.
A lot of people had. Some guy had a big like dollar bill in the front row that too. Yeah. That was with her name, her face on it, I think. Yeah, super cool. AEW was a lot of fun. Also, not to kind of move on from Mercedes Moné, Will Ospreay. I mean, first of all, I didn't know he was going to be there. He didn't wrestle, unfortunately. That would have been amazing if we got to see him wrestle live. But he was there, and he gave an incredible promo.
Oh, I was on
It
fire.
Was fucking crazy. Fired me up. I wanted to run through a brick wall.
Bruv.
Everyone was chanting, bruv.
What was the...
He was, I am the feeling.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They want to get the feeling. I am the feeling.
Everyone's talking about restoring the feeling. I am the feeling, bruv.
Oh, so good,
Holy
man.
Shit.
So passionate. Him and Brian Danielson are going to fucking blow the roof off the place.
I love, I was happy to hear his themes. I like ever since I've like been seeing it on AEW, I love like the Ospreay. It's
stuff,
you know.
Yeah, you want to talk about a star. I mean, that guy is in ring unbelievable. On the mic, he can cut an amazing promo too. Guy's amazing.
I saw a tweet this morning that said, where is it? It was here it is. That's not it. It's a long here it is, sorry. From Cultaholic. Shout out.
Cultaholic.
Some backstage in WWE believe that Triple H, quote, didn't realize, unquote, the benefit of signing Will Ospreay. Quote, I just think that if Triple H is watching this being Will Ospreay's promo at Big Business, he's going like, holy fuck. They know he's a good wrestler, but I don't think they know that he's a charismatic person and talker and can get over. Blah, blah, blah. They offered him way less money, blah, blah, blah. So just like an interesting report of WWE could have had him for sure.
Right. You know what?
Just the fact they didn't realize like, oh, he's gonna be a mega star.
Yeah, I it's interesting to me because like I agree. Like he's gonna be mega. I think he's a guy that like we talked about before, like WWE or AEW. I can see him eventually ending up in WWE maybe one day, but I think AEW right now is the perfect place for him. Like he's able to, can be in the front and center of like the men's division and just kind of being like, he can continue being the best wrestler in the world, putting on these crazy matches. In WWE, it's a little different. But it's kind of crazy to me thinking about how much money AEW is actually offering these guys. Because there was a report for Okada making $4.5 million a year.
Yeah.
That's, listen, I'm not here to say like he doesn't deserve it or anything like that. He's not big enough a name to make that much money. All I'm saying is $4.5 million is a lot of money. I'm curious what like, what Will Ospreay got, and two, like what the difference is. Because WWE is a multi-billion. I mean, they just got bought out by UFC. I mean, they're a multi-billion-dollar company. So it like really, I'm interested to know like how that goes on behind the scenes, like the money offerings and what really it comes down to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome. Like Will Ospreay on a roll in AEW. Like I said, his match with Danielson is going to be awesome. That promo last night got me even more fired up for it.
Yeah. What else we see? We saw the tag match. We saw
Okada
and Young Bucks versus my guy Penta versus Pac versus Eddie Kingston. That match was a ball.
Sick. Darby and Jay White was.
Hey, Ghost, slow down.
Oh, okay.
One
at a time.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen Penta wrestle, so seeing Penta wrestle was great.
Yeah.
Okada, you mentioned it last night, but we were able to see Okada last time he was in Boston at Blood and Guts.
2 times we go to AEW, Okada's there.
Saw him wrestle last night. Saw the Young Bucks. Eddie, also, if there's any question if Eddie Kingston is over with the crowd, the crowd loves Eddie Kingston. Constant Eddie chants.
Oh yeah.
That was fantastic. Really fun match. Opener was Samoa Joe versus Wardlow.
Yes, it was.
That was a ball.
2 meaty men just throwing each other around.
It is like surreal. It's already crazy to see it on TV, but like seeing Wardlow hit that like the top rope spinning dive thing.
Oh, like the whisper in the wind.
Basically, right? Yeah. That was really nuts.
Yeah, crazy.
I lost my mind when Swerve Strickland came out and like had the chains and shit. Yeah, if there's any question, and you see all these tweets about like empty arenas and blah blah blah.
Oh, it was packed last night.
It was packed
for
sure.
It
was packed. Even the rafters were packed. I don't know. I mean, it's such like an old thing to say, but like, those pictures are. Don't believe those pictures if you see them. Don't believe it.
I mean,
if someone takes a picture of an empty section, it's the press section.
Yeah, honestly,
we can confirm.
It's like there's some parts of the arenas that you're in that like are just blocked off, and that's not because of tickets or anything like that. It's just that's how the setup is and all of that.
What else? Like you said, Darby Jay White. That was fun.
I mean, Darby is just a madman.
Yeah,
that's
the spot where he was like on the top rope and just did a coffin drop straight to the floor. That was nuts.
Yeah, he like kind of clipped the apron a little bit. So it's, that hurts. That's gotta hurt a lot.
I think that was the first time. I saw Darby live too. First time I saw Jay White live.
Yeah, definitely Jay White. I forget like the Blood and Guts match. I know the Blood and Guts match itself was like half of the show. So I don't really think we got to see a lot of like other people in action when we went to AEW.
Yeah. The main event with Willow and Riho, which I'm seeing a lot of Riho hate on my timeline this morning. I thought it was a great match.
Yeah,
I know people were critical of it being the main event over the world title match. But like they had the Mercedes Moné angle. They're in Boston. They're gonna end the show with Mercedes.
Yeah,
and also I think Willow and Riho delivered for the main event.
They did.
For sure.
And people were going. I mean, at first it was like, let's go Willow, let's go Riho. Like people were going crazy for them.
And at the end, lights go out, which I love that.
I was waiting for CE. That's what I thought.
I don't think I've ever, to my knowledge, experienced. That was the first time I experienced
like a blackout type of thing.
Blackout, and then like lights come back up.
Yeah, I don't know if I have.
So they did that. Julia Hart, Sky Blue, blah blah blah. Boom. Mercedes Moné. See ya, Julia Hart. Boom. Saved Willow. Her and Willow obviously have the history in New Japan. Yeah. And then what else? Can't talk about Collision.
No.
Watch a little bit of Collision.
Yep.
But they do, like, there's like multiple occasions where they're like, and we got Collision, and nobody's gonna leak information, right?
Right, guys?
And no one's gonna film this, or
no worries.
What else? Oh yeah, and then during back to the Jay White thing. Like we saw like the Bullet Club Acclaimed pairing split off. Darby got hit with like they took out his ankle or whatever.
Oh yeah, they put the chair on his leg and hit it with the bat and stuff. Yeah, Darby Allin had a tough night.
Darby Allin had a tough night.
Yeah. Overall, though, the show was action. It was packed from start to finish. Great matches. Obviously, Mercedes Moné debuting was incredible.
For whatever reason, AEW tends to put on some bangers in Boston.
They love Boston.
I don't know.
And Boston loves them.
What did Joe say at the beginning of his promo? He was like, "I don't lose titles in Boston," or something
like that.
I don't lose titles in Boston.
Hard. Oh, we also saw Hook.
Hook and Jericho versus the Mogul Embassy guys.
Yep.
I mean, I lose my mind during Hooks. I love Hook. I love his entrance with the Action Bronson theme. That was fantastic.
Right.
Yeah, it's happened a couple of times. Yeah, it's been going on. I don't know I'm going to have them like buy us a new thing or something. So I don't know what's going on.
All right, word. I just looked at it and saw that. Made me nervous.
But yeah, so I guess that's kind of it for big business. It was big business. It was some big business indeed. Thank you again to AEW for hooking us up.
Shout out to you guys.
Unreal, very crazy. Before we move on from AEW though, we did forget to crown the vacant SCW Predictions Champion.
Oh yeah.
So
some more big business to take care of.
I have my stuff up.
Okay, I do as well.
Let me get this. Let me get this title. All right, so I'm just gonna go by mine. You can just kind of go from there. Okay. I got Wardlow won.
Okay.
FTR lost.
And they faced the Bullet Combat Club, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of going by mine.
Yeah, because I forget the results exactly.
So you got a little mental gymnastics on this.
Okay.
So Wardlow won.
Yep.
FTR lost. Daniel Garcia lost.
Yep.
Will Ospreay won.
Yep.
Bryan Danielson lost.
Yep.
Tony Storm won.
Yep.
Samoa Joe won.
Yep.
Roderick Strong won.
Yep.
Young Bucks lost.
Okay.
So and then once
I think the only one I got wrong was the Young Bucks.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't nail this one. I ended with 28 points.
Okay, hold on. Let me add this up right now. 6, 9, 16, 17, 25, 34,
Woo!
39.
There you go.
39.
And your new SCW Predictions Champion, Dante. Congratulations.
Back on my shoulder where it belongs. Yeah, I picked the Young Bucks to win this. Because I went with the strategy of
I don't know
tag team belts, but yeah, I guess everything else all right, solid.
Our next time defending it, is it going to be at WrestleMania? Or no, Dynasty?
No, that's after. Yeah, that's after. Yeah, Mania, I guess.
It is crazy. Mania's in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I know it came up so
Jesus.
quick.
So yeah, wow. Big title for Mania.
That has to be the first time I won an AEW predictions, to be honest with you. I never get AEW ones. I'm terrible at those. I'll take it. Hell yeah.
So we got that out of the way. Next order of business, I want to chat about, I went to the Beyond Wrestling indie show that happened on Friday.
Story time.
I'm sure you've seen it on Twitter and stuff. It was a big card. Matt Cardona, the indie god, was highlighting it. Also notable names were Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, Joey Janela. Who else am I forgetting? Well, and then the obvious who I was there for. There was Mansoor. But then my guy, Mason D. Madden, formerly known as Mace, formerly known as Mace, but to me, better known as Brennan Williams. Shout out Brennan. Shout out my guy. So for those that don't know, I did post an Instagram about it. I told this story back in the day, but someone just fell down upstairs. The rumors are true. Brennan Williams did babysit me as a kid.
Yes. Glad you confirmed them.
Yep. So rumors are true. Everyone can stop speculating. Did he not? Oh my God.
Did he babysit him? No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
So I used to. It's more so. It started out as we had the same babysitter when we were like super young, and then he's older than us. So like as he got a little older, then he just started babysitting like me and my sister and like his siblings, blah blah blah. So I used to, you know, I know his family pretty well. Like I've known them ever since I was a kid. So I mean, when do you get babysat? When you're like, I don't know, what, 6, 7? I don't know,
something like that.
I don't really know ages. And we had like a little reunion, like family reunion sort of thing when I was like, you know, like 12, 13, whatever. So, but that was the last time I've seen him. We've obviously been following his career.
Right.
But last time I've seen him and anyone in his family was when I was like 13. So I knew he was going to be at the show. I was like DMing him. I was like, hey, like, you know, I'd love to say hi, saw him. I was like walking around. He was at his merch table and I went up and I was like, Brennan? And he was like, oh shit, big hug, really nice like reunion thing. So good to see you. And we're catching up. And you know, I'm the first thing I said to him, you know, we're just like, you know, how you doing? Like things are great. He's obviously hip to Stache Club at this point, so he's like, that's, you know, it's awesome. But first thing I said to him, I like pounded him on the chest, and I said, I'm so fucking proud of you.
Hell yeah,
I'm so fucking proud of you, man. You know, I told him I was like when you were on Raw, like when you were on commentary, or when you were Mace and like whatever, like me and my family would watch you, and I'd be like, that's Brennan, because my parents, you know him. They're like, that's Brennan. They'd be like, wow,
that's sick.
Big guy.
Yeah, big boy, man. I bet.
Wow. So anyway, we're like catching up a little bit, and then all of a sudden through the crowd, I recognize his dad and his mom and his brother are coming up, and I didn't know they were gonna be there. So he says hi to his dad, and he goes, do you know who this is? And I give his dad like a very formal like handshake, and I go, it's John. And then he goes, oh, and they gave me a big hug. His mom gave me a big hug. I saw his younger brother, who I think is a little older than me still, Cameron. Got to meet his girlfriend, I believe. Girlfriend.
Hell yeah.
Just a crazy family reunion, and I was talking to my parents about this. It's like, it's all because of pro wrestling. Yeah, that wouldn't have happened because of pro wrestling. Honestly, you know what I mean? It's because, you know, Brennan is a wrestler. It's because we are doing this thing, and he had a spot at the indie show.
Wrestling connects.
I went to the thing.
Connects people. Connects.
Clearly, I mean, coming off of us talking about the AEW big business hookup, I owe a lot to professional wrestling, man. I owe a lot to professional wrestling.
Absolutely.
So, you know, very grateful professional wrestling gave me that little reunion. So that was cool.
Hell yeah.
Got to talk to him all night. I met Mansoor, cool guy. Really, really fun. His match was crazy. They had a tag team match.
New champs.
So they did post they were new champs, but what happened was they did win through heel tactics.
I did see a little cheap shot.
And then the referees called it back, and they were like, no, you low blow and whatever.
Son of a
and
bitch.
they restarted the match and then lost the titles.
Oh, God damn it. That's all right.
And then I want to get her name because she impressed me, but it was the Joey Janela match. Megasis. Kind of like Pegasus.
Right, but with an M.
I think she's had some Stardom matches.
Okay.
But she was fucking sick. I don't know how she's not signed to like AEW or whatever. Let me show you Megasis. That's Megasis.
Oh, damn.
Just like she's sick presentation, like the Greek goddess thing.
Yeah.
Really, really sick. I guess sponsored by C4 Energy, so it sounds like she's doing all right. But yeah, I'm really surprised we don't see her every week on AEW.
Hey, maybe we will one day.
But that's like the cool thing is like going to these like indie shows, and then even these like maybe like these bigger indie shows, and you see someone like a Megasis, and you're like, oh, in like 1 or 2 years, we're gonna see you
100%.
WWE
I mean, that's
AEW.
what you think about. I mean, a lot of these wrestlers from the indie scenes, that's where they get started at places like this, and they have to go through like, you know, these events to get to the AEWs and WWEs and all that.
Well, that's what in Mercedes Monet's promo last night, she dropped, she kind of told the story of her whatever, and she was like, I'd go over to North Andover, Massachusetts. Big pop, by the way.
Yep, everyone loves North Andover.
And she shouted out Chaotic Wrestling, which is like an indie promotion, a Massachusetts indie promotion. And she said, which I didn't know this, but she got her start in Chaotic Wrestling, which is very similar to a Beyond Wrestling or even a Focus Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, you know, just hearing that, like, put it back in perspective of, again, about just, really how important and fundamental, or not fundamental, but important, and how much of, like, the blueprint of all this is the indie promotions. You don't realize how, like, those indie promotions are crafting the biggest stars. And I don't think they should get the credit. The indie promotions everywhere, not just the ones we're talking about, but they deserve so much credit. 100%. And I think they deserve a lot more credit than they do. And they put on bangers of shows. What else? The Chris Statlander match was really good. I guess she trained from around here. She's a former. She mentioned she's like a former Beyond Wrestling wrestler.
Sure.
So I think she's either from around here. I don't know. Let's look it up. I think Chris Statlander.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Born in New York. I don't know. Maybe she.
I don't know.
Maybe she trained.
Maybe she had
here.
a lot of like events and appearances in Massachusetts. Maybe she spent a lot of time there.
Yeah, I also don't know much about like. I'm slowly learning more and more as I'm like experiencing them live or whatever. I'm learning more and more. Oh, here we go. In June last year, she competed at an event for the promotion Beyond Wrestling against Joey Janela. I don't know if Beyond Wrestling is... Maybe Beyond Wrestling just isn't a Massachusetts thing. Maybe that's where I'm getting confused. Headquarters are in Worcester. Maybe it is. I don't know.
I don't know.
Either way.
Maybe they travel.
That was cool. The main event, Matt Cardona.
Crazy.
Versus... It was a local Boston guy, and I apologize for the name. Again, I'm still learning the indie stuff. I'm still, whatever. That was sick to see. He goes by the Indie God.
Love it.
Fucking, he had...
How many belts do you have with him?
I think he just had the internet belt.
Did he just have the internet belt?
He just had the
okay.
internet belt.
All right.
He lost that match, too.
Did he?
Wow.
He
put the kid over, which was
That's cool.
But cool to see. I love that he's just like...
it seems like he's just having fun.
He could sign to a TNA or an AEW or whatever, but I love that he's like, no, I'm going to be the best indie wrestler. I'm going to be the fucking guy.
I see like tweets from him and like clips from podcasts, and he's just like, I'm doing well. Like he said, I make a shit ton of money. Like I'm having fun, stuff like that.
I mean, any indie promotion he goes to, he's the main event. He's 100%. The main card.
And he does like hardcore shit too, like a lot of like death matches and stuff like that. He doesn't hold back. He's serious.
There was a lot of Chelsea Green chants during his match.
Yep.
A couple Chelsea Green. What else? Yeah, a lot of there was a fun battle royal.
You said Dijak was there.
Oh yeah, Dijak was just like there to support Mason and Mansoor.
Yeah, you love that.
Which was
cool.
fucking sick.
Yeah.
I saw they all took a picture together.
I saw that on Twitter. I saw that picture.
He was just like, street clothes. He did have an MXM shirt for their thing, and he was just chilling in the back, and like I'd look over and like I'm like, is that fucking Dijak?
The big guy just hanging out in the crowd.
Yeah, and he like every now and again people would start to realize, like go ask him for a picture or whatever, but he was like, it was cool that he was like genuinely there as a fan, and he was just like, I'm just here, I'm just part of the crowd.
He wasn't there to attract any attention.
No,
he was just there to support his friends.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, no, that's very cool.
I think for some reason I thought he might have been. I'm not gonna look it up. I don't know. I think everyone's from around here.
If we believe in it strong enough, they are.
I did. I told you this, but I did get. I think I got like 3 beers in me, and I've at this point a couple people have said hi or whatever, and I'm like, well, Matt Cardona's the internet champion. We live on the internet.
I mean, come on.
So I got 3 beers in me, and I go over to Matt Cardona and Mark Sterling. And I basically started introducing myself as Stache Club Wrestling. I was like, John, Stache Club Wrestling, as if I'm like a journalist too.
Is that on your birth certificate? Stache Club Wrestling.
As if I'm like, John Channel 5 or whatever, like John Stache Club. We're not journalists or reporters. Like John Stache Club, and I don't know. He just kind of went, "How you doing?" I don't know if he knew. I don't know.
He's like Matt, Indie God.
So yeah. So hey, Matt and Mark Sterling. That's on me. That's a
shout out to you guys though.
Embarrassing. But yeah, that was really fun. I held the door open for Chris Statlander, and she went out of my way.
No, what? I thought she was. I
don't know. I think she was working heel that night. I guess.
Damn.
I don't know.
Damn, that's cold. That's cold, Chris.
But yeah, fun night. I guess there was like 2,200 people total there. It was a big show, dude. It was fucking.
That's nuts.
Sick.
That is very cool.
Met a couple people. Saw a couple Stache Club fans. It was it's a fun night. I'm definitely trying to. Since getting acclimated to like the Focus Pro stuff and like realizing like, oh, indie shows are fucking sick. Whenever I see one around or I can make it out or whatever, like it's a ball, man. It's so fun.
Absolutely.
So yeah, shout out Beyond Wrestling. Shout out Wrestling Open. Oh, I saw Love Doug. Shout out our guy
Love Doug. Hell yeah.
He was there. He was cool. That's awesome. Great match. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, this deep in it, and now it's like making connections and friends with like the indie scene and
The wrestling has a large community, strong community.
And all like also too is like it's not a gas ourselves up thing, but we are sitting on a channel with now 118,000 subs, so it's like it's all wrestling content. If there's any sort of way we can use our platform to like give back to wrestling, whatever,
1,000%,
and shine a light on like the indie promotions or the guys coming up or whatever, then by all means, I love that we're able to do that, and I love that we're put in a position to kind of give, as I don't know how wide the spotlight extends, but to what we can do to give back,
for sure,
and in any way that's really. Yeah, I think that's something special.
Yeah, I'm with you. Hell yeah.
All right, we got Beyond Wrestling. We talked big business, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
I think we can talk.
I think we're going to dive into some WWE. We got a handful of bullet points. Again, chill show. We're not going into everything. I honestly can't imagine we're going to talk much about this because this nothing new happened, but Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins is official.
Confirmed.
Seth Rollins accepted it on behalf of the both of them in the promo on SmackDown. The big highlights here, fun promos, solid promos. The big highlights here is Seth kind of stepping up and piping up.
Love that.
The two walking through the crowd.
Love that too.
And then The Rock kind of running down Cody's family and then saying that Cody was a mistake after a long while, and Rock's like, let him go. Cody slapped The Rock.
Got his payback.
Cody slapped The Rock. I was seeing I guess because they were on Fox for SmackDown, I guess they were really going overtime.
Yeah,
I saw videos like cameramen going, come on.
Yeah, apparently they were supposed to go on a little longer. And
they did what they needed to do.
It's tough because it's like when with something like this, with the program as hot as this, it would be perfect for Raw. They should just move. I mean, like, I get why it's on SmackDown, but like if you had 3 hours of Raw, like you could do like the 45 minute segment or whatever. It did get the point across and stuff, but it's interesting, or it's like weird to think like what else would they have said, or like how would this have gone to like the next level of something that they even had 5 more minutes. But again, this promo was, they accepted the challenge. Rock got his his comments off. He was talking his shit. Rock disrespected Cody again. Cody got his slap back, and here we are.
Yeah.
Where the match is cemented, and that's all they really need to do. So.
Yeah, like I said, like there's not much more that happened because like we already knew the tag match was happening, whatever. But like
I will say The Rock's entrance.
Oh yeah, the entrance too. Yeah, the entrance sick. Is great.
The way it was like the electricity and stuff, and then just like the one going down, and it had him.
Like saw his silhouette.
The bull had the red eyes and stuff. Oh, beautiful. I'm
excited. I think he's on SmackDown tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's on every SmackDown before Mania.
That makes sense.
Roman is on Pat McAfee next Friday, his show during the day. So that'll be a cool, like, get some stuff from him, get some more extra promo stuff from him. Man. We're getting closer and closer.
Yeah. I'm expecting it was solid. Everyone got their punches in, whatever. But I'm expecting like expecting tomorrow's promo, especially if it's just The Rock. I don't know if Cody and Seth are going to be there. Like you said, like Roman's doing the thing earlier. I don't know if he's going to be talking, but I'm expecting within the next couple of weeks for these promos to get real gritty, real grimy.
I have a feeling that Friday before is just going to be like all hell breaks loose type of thing.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, I'm hyped for it. It's exciting. Seth Rollins was, I think he played a very key part, and I think like him like kind of being the aggressive one and accepting the challenge and stuff, I think that was something that he needed to do. I think that kind of like took him to another level in this feud. And some people were even saying, like, some people were pointing some things out. We didn't really get into it yet, but like, questions are being asked about Seth Rollins' loyalty. Can you trust him and stuff? And there was like a bit. And this could have just been like, we talked about this, like with The Rock putting the L up instead of the one. Like, is it something or not? Like, the way Cody was looking at Seth when Seth accepted, he was just like kind of looking at him like, hey, I don't know if I'm really reading into it, but people were pointing some things out.
I think they kind of, in my opinion, I think they kind of clear, like when Cody talked with Michael Cole on Raw.
Yeah.
Michael Cole asked him about that, and like I think they kind of, I don't have much
listen,
into that.
There's no way they're doing a Seth turn.
No.
Like, it's not happening. Like, there's no way. That would just be so detrimental. Also, they showed to that tweet when people were saying it, some people were like, oh, but like Seth Rollins, it was a video of him doing the Cody Rhodes whoa, like after the show and stuff to his theme song. Oh. And he was like, he's singing his theme song. He's not turning on him.
Yeah, and like in the promo, Michael Cole asked him about it, and then he was just like, I was gonna accept it anyway. Like, I'm glad. Like, yeah, he didn't. I don't know.
Right.
Cody just kind of went like, yeah, it's not a big deal.
It's just one of those things at this point where like people are looking for any.
But I like that though. I like that everyone's
the
like
speculation.
I like that everyone's nitpicking and like.
I mean, hey, if this is supposed to be a long story, like thinking of the long game here, then I mean, you got to look out for any and everything.
So if we're looking at it, we got counting tomorrow, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 SmackDowns before Mania.
Yeah.
And then like the fifth.
That's a good time. That's a good amount of time.
I wonder if the fifth. Well, they're all SmackDown Live now, or do they pre-recorded? I never remember.
No, I think they pre-recorded the Elimination Chamber one because they were obviously traveling.
So I think the SmackDown on the 5th is like in Philly too.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because they're doing. I think they do the Hall of Fame after SmackDown.
Yeah, I was looking at the schedule the other day.
How did they do it last year? Because it definitely wasn't a Saturday, because they usually, when it was just Sunday, they would do the Hall of Fame the Saturday night before, but now it's 2 nights, obviously.
WrestleMania 40.
And then they have the NXT event Saturday afternoon. So, yeah, it would have to be Friday night.
This just has the matches.
Yeah, I would imagine it's
Hold on,
Friday
I saw it
night.
the other day. This one also just has like a bunch of. There's like it is. Speaking of indie shows, there's like which like absolutely take advantage of it. There's so many indie shows happening in Philadelphia. Like all like
take advantage.
Starting at like 11 a.m. I think there's like a Stardom show, and like it goes all the way. Okay, let's see. Oh my God, so much scrolling. Where are we? Friday. All right, Friday. Yeah, 11 a.m. is Joshi starting live in Philly. Okay, more indie stuff. Come on, we're at 7 o'clock here. Ring of Honor Supercards at 8. Come on, so many stuff happening. Okay, SmackDown. Yeah, when's the Hall of Fame?
Where is it? What? It's not there.
Hall of. Okay.
Oh,
Hall of Fame.
10 p.m.
Which day though? Hold on. Might be the Thursday. Oh, it is on Friday.
Okay.
What? Okay, so it is after SmackDown.
All right, yeah, 10 o'clock.
Then when's NXT?
I think that's a Saturday afternoon.
NXT Stand Deliver 12 p.m. Wow. Yeah, big a lot of Friday. Oh, it's Saturday. It's Saturday.
A lot of wrestling. A lot of wrestling that weekend. That's crazy.
All right, where were we? So speaking of, I want to bounce back to what you were talking about with Seth. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Seth needing, because I agree with you, I think he needed that fire, needed that. Like he's played I don't want to say a background character, but
he's not the main focus of it,
and he shouldn't be because it's not his story really, whatever. But that, like, you know, he kind of stepped up and made his mark, whatever. And then Seth and Drew which I think they had a great promo on Monday. Mm-hmm. And then, Drew kind of, which again, all based in reality, all correct. Drew, more of just like, you're distracted, you're focused on the bloodline, why were you there on SmackDown on Friday, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And then Seth's, because we haven't gotten a Seth response. Right. We haven't really gotten like...
It's more Drew just kind of voicing his displeasure.
Yeah, we've gotten like solid reasons, very general reasons, with Seth being like, him and Roman and bloodline and blah, blah.
Bloodline, yeah.
But what I liked about this is as Drew is walking up, Seth's kind of like, hey, this isn't a direct quote or exactly what it was, but it was something to the effect of, during this whole thing, I've been worried about The Rock or Roman. I'm worried about the bloodline and all this stuff happening. And I've been over there doing my thing. But through all this, the reason I'm fighting you and the reason I'm also in the tag match and the reason I'm involved or whatever is because the thing that I'm least worried about is Drew McIntyre.
Hey, that's all you got to say. That's fire. That's fire right there.
Good.
Hey,
I love that for two reasons. I love it because one, it gives another reason for Seth to be in these other matches. Yep. He's so cocky and he's so confident and he's like, I'm going to beat Drew McIntyre. I don't need to pay attention. Like it's already a wrap.
I'm that good.
But then it also lends a lot to Drew. Cause I think the whole story is going to be Drew's going to win because Seth just was too distracted and is underestimating Drew and everything. I think it lends a lot to Drew of just like, oh, you're not worried about me?
Now Drew's gonna fucking kick his ass.
Yeah, I'll show you who not to worry about.
It's personal now.
So I thought that was great.
Man, Drew winning at Mania is gonna hit.
It's gonna be
so
good.
hard,
it's
man.
Gonna be good.
It's gonna be so good.
Jey Uso officially challenges Jimmy Uso in another promo that was it was short, it was sweet, it was fiery, it was concise. I loved it. I loved the Uso versus Uso, Jey versus Jimmy, me versus me, twin versus twin, whatever. Fucking crazy. That's sometimes all you need.
Yeah.
You just need we have our reasons. I'm challenging.
Everyone knows the history, obviously, between them and all that. I'm just hoping this is going to be like I want this to be like a street fight, like no DQ.
Hope it's
have
something.
them go at each other.
Yeah, I hope it's something for sure.
Definitely hyped up for that match. I saw a tweet. It was like people have to set the over under of how many super kicks there's going to be. This match or attempts or whatever. There's going to be so many damn super kicks.
So now Jimmy, I'm assuming there's going to be a response tomorrow on SmackDown with Jimmy responding.
I would imagine this match would be night one. And the reason why I think that is because if Jimmy, it also depends on how the tag team match goes. But let's say hypothetically, The Rock, Roman win. Then I can imagine Jey and Jimmy are going to be involved in the match if they're doing the whole end game type of shenanigans and stuff. Or even if it's not like that.
Yeah, I guess in that case though, it could be cause even if it's at the beginning of the show, night two.
That could they could do that as well. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of also how they're going to balance the shows because they haven't put out. They're not going to put out a schedule for that for a while, but at least we know the tag team match is night one, and then the two world title matches, men's, are night two. That's all we really know.
Yeah, so I could see it being on night one just to try to help. Yeah, but also all the matches are big. Where's Io and Bayley gonna be? Where's Rhea and Becky gonna be?
I also don't think there's gonna be a crazy amount of matches. To be honest, not there's gonna be. I mean, it's a big show. There's gonna be a lot of matches, more than Elimination Chamber 4 or 5, but Triple H is a big quality over quantity guy. That tag team match is gonna go 45 minutes. Between the entrances and the that's gonna be long. The ladder match, I can imagine that might take a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see how many more matches they actually announce and how they plan it out.
I could see night two, or sorry, I could see night one maybe having like a usual 6 or even 7, and then night two is 4 or 5, where it's the bigger ones.
I said about the tag team match, the WWE Championship match, Roman Cody, that could be 2 hours.
That's gonna go.
That could go forever. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of put it all together. All the matches are going to be great, that's for sure.
Speaking of putting matches together, Are we getting a fatal 4-way match for the women's world title?
If Liv beat Becky this past Monday, I would probably be convinced that we were going to go down that direction. But at this point, I think they're just going to do Becky, Rhea.
I mean, they're just involving them so much.
We are 4 weeks away.
They had Nia attack them backstage. Mm-hmm. We're getting Nia and Becky on Raw. I think that's going to be really telling if Nia wins or if there's Liv interference or whatever.
Yeah, no, there definitely still is a possibility. Like we've said this before, said it last week. Like Becky Rhea, I think is big enough where you can just run that. Yeah. I'm not going to complain if they add another woman or two. I think those big matches are always fun. As long as it makes sense, like I'm all for it. It's just I don't know.
I just don't know where, because what are Liv and Nia doing if they're doing all this lead up and all this stuff, and then Mania comes
just
and
to drop them before the big match.
Yeah, it's like, all right, good work. Now you're off Mania.
Yeah,
you know?
No, I get it for sure. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I think at this point, because there's been what, one promo with Rhea and Becky. Yeah. At this point, I'm more into the Fatal 4-Way than I am the one-on-one. Like, there hasn't been a whole lot of build.
If you're an outsider looking in, you might think that it's already a Fatal 4-Way match. You might not even
absolutely.
think like, oh, this is just about Rhea and Becky. It's like you see Liv and Nia involved as much as they are. Like you would think that's the match.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see what they do with it.
Yeah, for sure.
You mentioned earlier, but it's been officially announced we are getting a 6-pack tag team ladder match.
That's our ladder match for Mania.
Announced for WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. I thought they were announcing the tag title splitting, to be honest with you, but no.
Me too.
But 3 matches that have been... Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say... Well, get into the matches first.
Were you going to say they're going to split them during the match? No, they're not.
I was going to say, listen, you have one set of red, one set of blue.
Stupid.
Pull them apart.
It's so dumb.
Easy, though.
I saw a bunch of people like talking about that, too. It's like, what are they going to have? Both... What are they going to change the... It's like, oh, they pulled down the red titles. But the blue ones are still there.
It's WWE, man. They're not gonna. They've done a lot of wacky stuff in the past.
There's genuinely no in match. I don't think there's any logical way to split the titles in the match.
If the match starts and I see 4 titles hanging up top, I am putting any amount of money down on their getting split after.
It is going to be funny because they will have to, if there are, unless they unify them and into one. I mean, they're already unified, but make them into one belt. It will be funny seeing 4 fucking belts dangling, and the teams have to like 1, 2.
Hold on.
3,
you got him. I got one more coming.
I don't know.
I'd be fine if it happened. That's all I'm saying.
They should split them. So I won't be mad if they do split them, even if it's not a logical way. I just don't think there's
better ways to do it. They should have done it by now.
Any way I've seen explained to me of how they're going to split them in the match is stupid. it's like they're
I'm still behind it.
If it leads to them splitting, who am I to complain?
If we get what we wanted. Yeah.
So it's like
it just wouldn't shock me if WWE, even if Triple H is the one running it. Like
what's the lodge? What are they going to do? They're going to take down the red ones and be like, they're split.
Oh, you want those? 4 belts is too much. Yeah, you could take the other one.
Like, what is an announcement going to happen?
Maybe they do like like an elimination thing. Like first team, you get the first set of belts and you're out. You can leave. You won those championships, and it's up to 5 teams to get the rest.
I guess. I don't know.
The match is going to be great.
It's going to be fun.
They have the matches, like you said.
So the 3 matches that have been announced so far: New Day versus Alpha Academy.
Yep.
DIY versus Creed Brothers. Awesome Truth versus Indus Sheer. And I imagine the next set of matches will probably be
SmackDown, like the like Bait and Dunn, maybe.
I mean, nothing's been announced as far as I know for tomorrow, but maybe next
Street
week on
Profits,
Raw.
Authors of Pain. A few LWO maybe.
I mean, at this. I'm hoping Imperium
would be nice. But I don't know because they're on Raw and they didn't. I would have thought that, which is kind of weird. They're
I don't know why they're not. I don't know.
They just had a street fight with the New Day and they won. I don't know why they're not.
It's a good question. You bring up good points.
These matchups I hate though because like I want both DIY and the Creed Brothers to be in. I want New Day and like those are teams I want in the match.
Man, Alpha Academy
not so much, but I do. Creed Brothers. I think DIY is going to win this match. I think they're the more like experienced team, like whatever. But Creed Brothers in a ladder match would be fucking sick.
So yeah, New Day versus Alpha Academy. I think New Day's already a shoe
Right,
in.
yeah.
Woods and Kofi. Awesome Truth versus Indus-Shear. Indus-Shear is not winning that match.
No.
Awesome Truth, boom. I don't know if Awesome Truth is winning that night.
But it'll be
R-Truth has been on fire
for the fans.
But yeah, DIY versus Creed Brothers, I don't know why they're matched up. I don't know why. If it's not Creed, if the Creed Brothers don't win, I'll be devastated.
Like, I think DIY had their opportunity and stuff, and I feel like throwing that fresh new tag team in the mix at a big stage like Mania really puts them like in front of a new set of eyes, and people can be impressed by them. But again, like DIY is the experienced team, people know them. Like, I get it, but
yeah,
I'd prefer the Creed Brothers.
I think DIY is going to win because they've just, like you said, they've been on TV more than the Creed Brothers. They've just been you can tell they're slowly trying to
Regeneration
X. They've been trying to expose them more and more to the audience, get the audience more used to them. Creed Brothers we haven't seen on TV for a few weeks. The match is going to be crazy, but unfortunately, I don't know if Creed Brothers are winning. Yeah. I want both these teams should be in. Both these teams should absolutely be in the match, but I don't know. I'm hoping, fingers crossed for Creed Brothers. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, punch to the gut here. No fault to Sammy. Shout out Sammy. We love Sammy. But absolutely. Sami Zayn defeats Chad Gable in the final match to win the Gauntlet match and move on to face Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. So here's my thing. First of all, I can't believe Chad Gable lost.
Yeah, me too.
I'm devastated. I know it is clear that the Chad Gable, not the Chad Gable thing, because like he is very over with the crowd, but people thinking he was gonna win was way more of an internet thing than it was
what they had planned backstage and all that.
Because if you look at it, I do agree where I think Chad and Gunther have a more established story and a better story. But if you look at what they've been doing on TV for the past 3 or 4 weeks, Sami Zayn's been, he lost like 2 or 3 matches. They had that video package where he's in the bleachers and he's like, I keep losing. I got to get it back. And he finally beat Shinsuke and he got a couple wins under his belt, whatever. They've really been like really shoving that story of like, Sammy's losing. Sammy sucks. Oh, wait. Oh, Sammy wants a comeback. So they've been really pushing the Sammy comeback thing where it's like that same exact story is what's happening to Chad Gable in reality. But in the script, it's Sammy's story.
Right.
So it's almost like, this whole way, like before, like with Sammy versus Roman. That was never Sammy's story. Right. It was Roman and Cody's story.
Yeah.
This, unfortunately, the decision's been made. This wasn't Chad's story. This is Sammy's story, as we've seen. So Sammy was always going to win and complete that like story arc. And unfortunately, but the thing that's frustrating is they had that organically in Chad.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the whole thing.
Yeah, and that was the thing. I tweeted this like. I want to be confused. Like Sammy winning, like awesome. Him and Gunther are gonna have a great match at WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
That's 100% guaranteed. Like I'm not upset that that's the match taking place. It's gonna be a great match. Sammy, former Intercontinental Champion, I don't think he's ever challenged Gunther for the belt before, so it's a new matchup. It was just, to me, it was like I can't believe. Like, and again, they did the same thing with Sammy, the story of like losing, coming back, and stuff like that. But it's like I feel like they did so much of hyping up Chad Gable going into this gauntlet of like the video packages he was posting on his Twitter and like the interviews talking about his kids and stuff. Like it really made you think that he was a shoo-in to win this.
That's why I was shocked when he lost.
And I was shocked, like the way like it was a quick like roll up and stuff like that. And also like when he came out last, I was like, oh, I had a bad feeling. I'm like, oh fuck, he's coming in last. I'm like, I thought to me that was like, I feel like if he was gonna win this, he would have had like at least like a solid like 10-15 minute run before just being thrown. So to me it was seeming like, oh, Sammy's been here a little while. Bronson Reed attacked him. Now it's like we're getting the underdog thing right now. It was a great matchup between the two, like the little like 5-minute one-on-one that they had. People were saying like Chad's shoulders weren't down, so like maybe that gets addressed. But like then they did a promo afterwards and stuff, and it kind of cleared it up. Like Chad, it seems he's out of the picture unless we're 4 weeks away, so maybe they whatever. But yeah, as
they
of
were
now,
they were down enough where it counts on a roll up.
To me, when I watched
they were
it,
supposed to be down. It's
when I watched it, I never thought like, oh, his shoulders were up. I was like, I saw people like, yeah, I think it kind of reached.
Which, hey, I appreciate it. People are like
trying to keep the dream alive. You know, I get it.
I would, if they do, I don't think they're gonna. I don't think we're gonna hashtag We Want Cody this. I don't think we're gonna, do this for Chad. Like, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think we're gonna be able to do this.
We're
for
already
Chad.
kind of doing this for the women's match too, of including other people. Are we gonna do? How many more people are we gonna be including in these matches? A triple threat
would be sick.
It would be. It would be. I just don't.
I just don't. And he looked, and again,
Chad looked
great.
Maybe
he looked great. Maybe he's just a great actor. He looked devastated after. He looked I thought
sad. He was I also thought he was going to do maybe a little heel turn at the end.
I thought
Sammy was whatever.
Yeah,
I'm like, so ooh, maybe that.
I would have liked that, to be honest. I was kind of hoping for that. Maybe turns heel, leaves Alpha Academy.
Listen,
I think it would have been good.
We have a few weeks. Who knows what they do? Maybe he shows up on Monday a little edgier. Maybe he's a little pissy, goes after Sammy. Pissy. I don't know. Anything could happen.
Talk about the match a little bit. I was pretty critical about Ricochet and JD starting, but they threw it down. They went for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, both these guys are talented. I think I was more expecting a warrior fight, but whether it was Sammy starting or Chad starting. But Ricochet and JD did great. Bronson cleaned up afterward. And also to note, Sammy was was practicing Ramadan. So he was fasting. He hadn't eaten like either all day or hadn't eaten for 24 hours or whatever it was. So he was doing all of that on no food.
And, it's so cool that commentary announce that, acknowledge that.
Yeah.
That's a real genuine thing.
Very
100%.
impressive.
Yeah, crazy.
Which also
adds to it.
Also lends to the fact that maybe that's why he didn't go first, because they're like, okay, we gotta reserve your energy somehow.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, I thought that was a great, very real addition to the match. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, Chad, man, I'm sad for Chad. Maybe that's the hashtag.
Sad for Chad. Get it trending worldwide.
Also, I think that's the hashtag. That's the comment if you made it this far. Hashtag sad for Chad.
Sad for Chad.
Put sad for Chad in the comments.
Let us know how sad you are. Oh, you know what? We didn't talk about Paul Heyman announced for the Hall of Fame. Well, they started making Hall of Fame announcements. There's a few other people too.
Yeah. Hall of Fame's looking good.
U.S. Express, I believe. Muhammad Ali got announced. Yep. I think they do like a legacy one or something like that. I don't know if that's exactly what it is or just he's just a celebrity Hall of Fame introduction.
I got them all right here. It's not them all. Yes, okay. Paul Heyman. I didn't see. Is this a new one? Bull Nakano?
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I think that was. I think a few days ago they announced it.
Thunderbolt Patterson, U.S. Express, and Muhammad Ali, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's looking good.
Yeah, definitely. Paul Heyman in Philly. I mean, that's perfect. I mean, people have kind of been speculating this since they announced it was going to be in Philly. Like Paul Heyman would be the perfect guy. I'm
curious who inducts him.
So some people were saying he's signed by AEW, but like Jim Ross was someone people were throwing around. Some people were saying CM Punk. Some people were saying Roman Reigns.
I know Roman would honestly just be pretty good to be honest. I just, if you're gonna keep it story,
yeah, for
Roman
sure.
But
funny. I can see because people were like, people throwing CM Punk around. The people like he has a huge history in wrestling. There's like a handful of other like older, people that
even
can
like
do it.
A Stone Cold would be
Stone Cold,
Arn Anderson. I'm seeing.
Yeah, there's definitely a good amount of people that could do it. But regardless, it's awesome that he's going to get that acknowledgement in Philly in front of the ECW crowd.
A Jim Ross get would be nice.
That'd
be
cool.
really cool.
Yeah, I don't know how they'd be able to work that out if they would do it, but
I feel like they would.
I think
it's Jim Ross and Paul Heyman.
It's not like this is a little different from like the on TV product. This is more of a ceremony, a celebration. Also, last thing I want to mention, I watched the new movie with John Cena, Ricky Stenicki.
Yeah.
Outrageous movie. Just
outrageous.
Simply
good, outrageous bad.
Both. Okay. John Cena is by far the star of that movie. I mean, it's centered around him. The gist of it is like
I like Andrew Santino too. I think
he was pretty funny. Zac Efron, I'm still not convinced that's him with all the facial. He just looks so different now. But the gist of it is like these three groups of friends, like when they were kids, they'd get in trouble and they blame it on this fake guy. As they got older, they would like go on trips and be like, oh, it's because of Ricky. push comes to shove, they need to introduce him to people. They hire an actor, aka John Cena. And yeah, I would definitely recommend watching it. I think it's funny. Like, I do think it's a pretty funny movie.
Would you watch it on streaming?
Oh, yeah, it's on Amazon.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't think I'd pay.
No, it went right to Amazon.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, it was like super just like stupid funny.
Yeah.
But it was, John Cena was incredible. Like, he was by far the star of the movie.
Yeah, he did also come out naked at the Oscars.
That's why I watched the movie. Was because he started like an OnlyFans, and he started tweeting like every few days. He's like, "Oh, I'm edging," and it's like him to have like 2 things of just like rubbing up. Like, it's not him doing anything. And I kept seeing so much promo for the movie, and I was like, "When is it coming out?" And I see John Cena naked, and I'm like, when's this movie coming out? And I looked, it was on Amazon. I'm like, I have to watch this thing. I gotta get it out of the way.
I saw itself.
Hey.
I saw something. Oh, I totally lost what I was gonna say.
The Rock was there. He saw him backstage. He was on Jimmy Kimmel, and he's like, "Oh, like you and Rock, people think like the old days you're gonna wrestle." He goes, "I ain't wrestling a naked John Cena," or something like that. All right,
that's the show.
So
if you made it this far, hashtag sad for Chad. And if you also made it this far, hey, we got some merch coming out today, baby.
We do. Check it out.
We've been having audio technical transparency. We've been having some audio technical difficulties with this
Sorry
thing here.
about that. We're gonna get it figured out.
As of audio version usually comes out later. By the time this is out, merch is probably out. But if it's not, just in case, merch is coming out or did come out at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, shop.clutchpoints.com. It'll be linked in the description. It'll be linked in the comments. It'll be everywhere. We're posting things on our social media, off that stuff. We're getting graphics ready as we speak.
Yep.
The beanie, the hoodie, picture on the screen of what the back of the hoodie looks like.
Check it out. Get your hands on it.
We got another right error, but at this point, who gives a shit? That's that. We'll see you in the next one. Appreciate it. Happy episode 69.
Happy. Everyone celebrate. Have a good time. Be safe.
Thank you again to AEW for last night. It means the world. Unreal that that opportunity is given to us, so we appreciate it. It means the world. And that's that. We'll let you get out of here. I hope this is all recording. It might not be. And we'll see you in the next one.
Happy 69. Peace.